Scars beneath my smile. Dear past, I woke up as a child bearing the news that you took my father to be with the Lord very early. So I was just left with my mother, grandparents, relatives, and of course, friends of the family and strangers. Growing up, I didn't want for much because I grew up not exposed to having much, so I just appreciated life as it was. I enjoyed living with my grandparents growing up in Pinsville, Liberia. We went to a public school. After school, we would go to the farm and chase the birds. And sometimes when it would rain, we would catch frogs and cook soup. And we would help grandma and grandpa to harvest the rice. And we would go to church every Sunday. Grandma would wake up every morning and have devotion with us. And I had a great time living with grandma. Yes. Because after my father died, my mom set on the path to achieve her education, and so grandma took us. But at a certain point, I lived with mom just for 1 year. And I experienced for the first time the evil of the world. Mom told a guy to take me to a young lady to do my hair. Perhaps I was 6. And I may not remember my specific age range throughout this telling of my story, Scars Beneath My Smile. But he held my hand, and as we were walking, he said, "You know I like you, right?" This is somebody I believe who must have been a young adult. Probably he might have been 25, 26. He said, "You know I like you, right?" I didn't know how to respond or what to say. I just know that my mom told this man to walk me to this lady's house so I can get my hair done. So we walk in, and when he said that, I just said yes. And yes, innocently, thinking that as a child, this is somebody who just likes children. And then he goes, "I will one day finger you." And in Liberia, when we say somebody, a man fingering a girl, or it just means that I'm going to take my hands and put it in appropriate places and do inappropriate things to you. That's what he meant when he said, "I will finger you." And this was his way of trying to groom me into a stage where he could probably penetrate me. Growing up most of the time as children, most parents, African parents, and I won't just limit it to African parents. I believe in parts of the world there are parents who just didn't at the time talk to children. There are some parents who didn't at the time talk to children about these kind of things, what to do and how to react, and when these kind of things are said to you or done to you. So I didn't say anything. He took me, and fortunately he never carried out what he had planned. So I got my hair done and my uncle came and got me. After 1 year of living there, Mom said we should go back to Grandma, and I was happy because I didn't want this guy to finger me. And with Grandma, everything was good, and then the war came. The war came, and we had to go to the country. We went to the country. And this is where the true scars beneath my smiles began. Oh, no. I skipped a whole chapter. No, after Mama sent us to stay with Grandma, after some time, she decided that I should go and stay with a friend of the family who was up country in the interior part of Liberia, and she was a principal on a private mission school, so she wanted me to go and stay with her, and I was happy. Yeah, so I went, and life was looking promising. I was in first grade. I made some friends. We would run around and play. And I don't think, as I remember, that year didn't come to an end. I think a little over half a year into going to school while staying with this friend of the family, there was an older female who stayed there, and because I was a child, I slept in the other room with her and stuff. But one day my I would say my auntie, because the friend of the family, she was a much older woman, old enough to be my grandma, so I just called her auntie. She wasn't home, so this grown female, she laid on the bed, and she got undressed, and she said, "Come here." And then I just followed her order. I just went on the bed. And she said, "Take and put your hand down there." I said, "Down where?" She said, "Between my legs." I said, "And do what?" She said, "I just want you to put your hand in and out, just in and out." Nobody else was there. It was just me and her. So I just did what she told me, because I didn't want her to spank me or whatsoever. So I just did what she told me. I just took my little hands and just inserted it, and in and out, body fluid all over my hand, and until she told me to stop. So I stopped, and I kept it to myself, because like I said, some parents just never really talk to their children about these things and stuff. So I did it until she told me to stop. And then after that, I couldn't function in school anymore. I started failing, and so my auntie, the principal slash friends of the family called my mom and said, I don't know what happened, but she's not doing good in school anymore. I think she should come back. So my mom sent me back to grandma, and I was happy because grandma was the only safe haven. I will continue next time.